What's up? It's Mel. Here's the deal. Buying a jacket to wear while you ride motorcycles can be a really overwhelming experience. There are a lot of different options available with a ton of different features and price points. So your riding jacket is one of the most important pieces of motorcycle gear that you can buy. So you want to make sure that you're investing your money wisely. It's going to keep you safe, look cute, but most importantly, you're going to feel good while you're wearing it. In this video, you'll learn what motorcycle safety jackets are, why it's a good idea to wear one, why not all jackets are created equal, important features to look for when you're buying one, things to stay away from, different options that are available in the marketplace, and how to pick one that best suits your size. I'm going to talk about my two riding jackets, tell you why I love them, and then give you a quick demonstration. As a motorcycle safety coach and a mindset coach, I get so many questions about motorcycle safety gear. So what is a motorcycle jacket? A motorcycle jacket is a riding jacket made specifically for riding motorcycles. It has additional features that will keep you safe and comfortable while you're riding, and it's going to protect you in a crash. Okay, cool. So why is it a good idea to wear one? Well, it's going to protect you in a crash. It's going to protect all of the bones and the contact points. It's also going to protect your skin from road rash. So for all of these reasons is why I choose to wear a motorcycle safety jacket with as much armor and as much protective and safety capacity as I can possibly get. Not all motorcycle safety jackets are created equal. So a couple reasons for that. Not all jackets are abrasion resistant. Now, I'm talking about a regular fashion jacket as compared to a proper, specifically designed motorcycle riding jacket. A fashion jacket won't have armor. It won't be abrasion resistant. It's more than likely not going to be windproof or weatherproof. So for all of these reasons, that's why I pay a little bit extra to get the riding jacket, specifically for my purposes and to keep me comfortable while I'm riding. A couple important features to look for when you're buying a jacket. You want to look for some air vents, okay? So when you're riding and it's warm weather, you want to be able to open up a couple spots here and there, get some air flowing. Whether or not it's hot weather or whether it's cold weather, you just kind of need some ventilation. Those air vents are going to be really helpful. Another thing to look for is insulated layers. Again, depending on the climate that you live in and the time of year that you ride, you might need a little bit of extra insulation and warmth with your jacket. On the other side, you can get mesh jackets that have really nice abrasion resistance fabrics that are mesh that again just have a ton more ventilation abilities, and it's going to keep you a lot cooler while you're riding on really hot days. You'll want to look for a jacket that is windproof or at least has an option to keep the wind out. You'll also want reinforced contact points. Again, if you were to crash, you want to make sure that certain places like your shoulders, your elbows, and the back of your lower back and your spine is going to be protected. So this can just mean double stitched fabrics around those areas. It can also mean armor that is inserted into the jacket that will protect you. You'll also want to look for abrasion resistance fabrics. So a really obvious one that you'll probably be familiar with is leather. Additional abrasion resistance fabrics are things like Cordura or Kevlar. So these are fabrics specifically designed that will be really, really strong, and they actually will prevent fabric from shredding if it does make contact with the pavement. So things to stay away from when you are looking for a motorcycle jacket is anything that doesn't contain armor. Again, as a female motorcyclist, as someone who is considering learning to ride motorcycles, you'll already know that riding is inherently risky. When you're riding motorcycles, it is really important to mitigate as much of that risk as possible. And a lot of that risk is within our abilities and the way that we ride, but also it is about making sure that if anything happens or if we do have a crash, that we will be sufficiently protected in that event. So a big way to help kind of mitigate that risk is to wear motorcycle safety gear that's going to protect your body and your skin in the event of a crash. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple different options that are available, and a couple of those options are leather jackets. So you'll be familiar with those. You kind of might have an idea of what those looks like from the movies. There are also textile jackets. So again, these have the abrasion resistant fabrics woven into them. A couple other things that you might see on the market are touring jackets. So these jackets are specific for long distance or endurance riding, where you're going to be doing multi-day rides or just extended periods in the saddle. Touring jackets are usually distinct by their use of pockets and their placement of pockets. So they have a lot of pockets in the front, in the chest, and then in front of your tummy there. They just have like a lot of external pockets, which are super helpful. I, for one, love pockets in everything. However, when you're riding motorcycles, you want to be really mindful of what you do put in your pockets, because in the event of a crash, you just don't want to be landing on anything that's going to hurt you. So a couple examples of that: I always put my wallet in my right pocket. I always put my phone in my left pocket. When I'm talking about keys, if I'm carrying my house keys around, I will always put that in a saddlebag or in a backpack or in a pocket on in my fairing, because if I do crash, I don't want to have keys anywhere on my body that could potentially like dig into me. That's going to hurt a lot. Other things that I carry in my pockets are in the front. I always put my earplugs. So those are going to be really soft to land on. I'm not too worried about those. So for those reasons, just be aware of what you are putting in your pockets and keep that in mind when you're looking for jackets. So if you are looking for a specific brand recommendation, I can highly recommend Gear Chick. She runs a really successful blog, Instagram, and a YouTube channel. She has really great brand recommendations, particularly if you are shorter stature or curvy or both. I would check her out. She has really, really great tips, very specific ideas on brands and models that will really help you be more comfortable when you're riding. So as far as one motorcycle jacket that is going to fit your size, you'll want to measure your bust at its widest point and compare that measurement to various motorcycle jacket brands, so the size chart that they have online. And that's just really done with a measuring tape, is probably the easiest thing. And then you'll just measure it from the front all the way to the back, get that total measurement, and then compare that to the chart. They might also be asking for your hip size again, so you'll be measuring around the hips at the widest point, and then that will correspond to the hip measurements, and then try to find the size that is most is going to fit you the best. Okay, and another thing you want to think about is with riding jackets, that when you do ride, it's usually, I factor in about 5 degrees cooler when you ride compared to when you're just walking down the street or standing in place, because you have that wind chill, you have all the wind coming at you, and you're in and out of shade, so it's going to be a little cooler. So for this reason, I always buy my motorcycle jackets just a tiny bit larger than what I would normally want to wear like as a fashion jacket. So the reason for that is I can add additional layers to it. So if I want to wear a hoodie, if I want to wear a flannel, if I want to wear a vest, then I can comfortably fit those underneath my jacket without feeling like anything is too restrictive, and I still have full movement of all of my joints. Okay, so I want to talk about my riding jackets, why they work for me, and why I love them. So I have 2 riding jackets. One is a Harley Davidson 3-layer summer jacket. It's a mesh jacket, and that is why I love it. It has great ventilation. My second jacket is a Victory Motorcycles leather jacket. Now that is what I would consider my fall riding jacket, my winter riding jacket. And the reason that is because I find leather to be fantastic at cutting the wind. So it keeps me protected from the elements. It also has a really nice insulated vest that is detachable on the inside that is just so cozy and snug. So let's talk about these jackets. I'm going to give you a demo and talk about different features about them that I love. So first up is my Harley Davidson 3-layer summer jacket. So this is what this looks like. And I love this jacket. It is a small, I think, and so comfy. So let me put it on real quick for you. It's got 3 layers, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. It is a little heavier for that reason, but I think it's all super worth it. So this jacket is 3 layers. So on the outside is this textile, that fabric that I was talking about, that abrasion resistance fabric. And then if you unzip that, it has a mesh jacket here, which if I'm honest and it's summer and it's hot and I'm riding, I pretty much don't have this external layer on at all. I'm pretty much just riding with this mesh. And on the underneath that, I have a really nice windproof, waterproof liner. And this is fantastic. It cuts the wind. I carry it with me every time I ride, just in case it rains or if I'm just getting a bit chilly. And that is how the jacket rolls. I want to talk quickly about why it's important and why motorcycle jackets have this like top bit that looks so weird, because like this isn't something you see in a fashion jacket. So the reason that motorcycle jackets come up about 1 inch around your neck, and they're kind of like pretty snug around the neck. I've got 2 buttons there if I want to do it double and get it real snug. So the reason why this is, when you're riding on a motorcycle and you're at speed, there are certain things that can, road debris or bugs that can jump up and sort of hit you while you're riding. So the reason that these jackets are like this is so anything kind of comes up, you're not going to get anything falling down your jacket, and it also helps keep the wind out. So I don't know about you, but when I'm riding like highway speeds, 75 miles an hour, I don't want to be hit by a bee. I personally super don't want the bee to fall into my jacket. So this is why it's a good idea to have these up high. Sometimes I get lazy, and if it's summer, I will ride with this undone, but I try not to as much as possible. Now, the other thing that I want to quick point out is this jacket has a ton of ventilation spots. So to show you that real quick, I've got these little mesh pockets in here that are great for ventilation, and got one over on this side. Got some pockets here. I also have some ventilation in the back. And on this side too, these little zips here. So it has a really, down the bottom it has like a nice additional protective pad here. Kind of comes down a little bit, covers the top of my jeans. And the other part that I love about this jacket is the elbows. So it has, I took my armor out. It's in my leather jacket. But this is a pocket underneath here, is a pocket for additional safety armor. Now this jacket did come with safety armor. A lot of motorcycle jackets that you will buy have motorcycle safety armor in them. If they don't, always look for an internal pocket where you can insert armor. Now armor can really depend on how much you spend, but it can be sort of affordable. So like $20 to $50 per pair. So you would buy 2 elbows, at the same time you buy 2 knees, and the shoulders would come in a packet. So always buy that. Always look for armor here. This this does have armor usually, but the other thing is you can adjust how tight your elbow is going to be. Now the reason it's really important to make sure your elbows are tight when you have armor in is because when you make contact with the pavement, the armor isn't going to move so much. So you want to make sure that your elbows have decent tension, because it's just going to keep the armor in place when you need it the most. So this jacket also has a pocket in the back. So it has a spine protector on the back of the jacket. When I bought this jacket, it did not have a spine protector with it. Spine protectors typically are an extra bonus if you're just like really into safety like I am and you just want to go like all in. Spine protectors, mine was about $30 US. You can go up to $200 depending on how much you want to spend. But they're a fantastic way to add additional protection. Particularly the spine is something that I super want to protect if I ever do crash. So that is another thing. I just love this jacket. It's fantastic. And, oh, finally, so these, you always want to keep your jacket fastened with the with these Velcro. And the reason that is, again, keeps the wind out, keeps the bugs and the debris from getting up into your jacket. Wanted to point out here, I've been lazy, so this is a burn mark that I got on this jacket. I put it over my husband's bike, and the arm just kind of hit some hot metal and burned. So this is not a great thing. It basically just really jeopardizes the integrity of the jacket. So if I were to crash, it's basically going to rip right open, and it won't have as good abrasion resistance fabrics as it typically would if it was completely sealed up. So I've been meaning to get that replaced, get a patch on it. It's just a little tough to get someone with a big industrial sewing machine that can actually stitch in a really small part of a jacket, like in the sleeve like that. So my next jacket coming up here is my leather jacket. So this is by Victory Motorcycles. Now, Victory Motorcycles no longer exists, unfortunately. They were discontinued about 4 years ago, but I got this on super discount when they were going out of business. So again, with the top fasten, you'll see that's pretty tight around my neck again, and nice and warm. It is fully leather. And talking about ventilation, we've got some ventilation here and ventilation on the front. This is kind of how it looks. Ventilation pockets there on the back. Another ventilation pocket there. Now let's see if I've got the insulated vest on the inside. I think I do, maybe. Okay, I do. So it has a really nice insulated vest, internal pockets on both sides. So this is really cozy. Even just putting it on, like, it feels a lot more cozy than my mesh jacket, and cuts the wind. It keeps me really warm. And I do transition my armor I have one set of armor and I transition between both of my jackets. So I do that about 2 times a year. And the reason I do that is just because when I'm riding, obviously I want all the protection that I can get. I feel like, okay, so I'm missing a shoulder pad. Okay, I don't know where my armor is. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so that is my second jacket. Now, all of that I want to compare real quick to a fashion jacket, which I guess if you were to look this up online or buy it, it would be called a motorcycle jacket. Now, it's the typical kind of fashion motorcycle jacket, and I love this jacket so much. The reason I don't wear it when I'm riding is because it doesn't have any armor. So this is just like regular shoulders, regular elbows, and it's not going to protect me in a crash other than protect my skin. And you'll see that it's pretty loosey-goosey around my neck. So this just means that, you know, dirt and debris and bugs can get in there when I'm riding. Okay, awesome. So quick recap. In this video, you learned what a motorcycle safety jacket is, why it's a good idea to wear one, why not all riding jackets are created equal, important features to look for when you're buying a motorcycle jacket, things to stay away from, and different options that are available to you. Okay, and we also talked about how to fit one for your body and how to find one online that fits your measurements. So I sincerely hope that you enjoyed this video. It is my goal to always create and share content that is relevant to the female motorcycle rider experience and relevant to women that also want to ride motorcycles. And I have a small favor to ask. I would love it if you would like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps get the message out so that more women feel empowered to ride motorcycles. So you can catch me at www.herhandlebars.com or on Instagram at Melissa Hussong. I'll see you next time for more motorcycle and mindset tips.